Spurge here, and in this video we are going to break down the new Monimoto M7 GPS anti-theft tracking device. So this is going to be one of the more popular anti-theft tracking devices on the market, and this new M7 version is a bit smaller and a bit easier to conceal than the previous version. So from a sizing standpoint, this is going to measure about 3.7 inches long, about 2.75, 2 3/4 inches wide, and then roughly about 3/4 of an inch thick. So this is going to be much smaller than the previous outgoing version with all the same functionality, still very easy to conceal. So if you're familiar with the outgoing Monimoto anti-theft tracking device, this is going to have all that same functionality, just in a smaller, more compact size. Now, if you're not sure what we're talking about, really what this is a GPS tracking device that's based on 4G and GPS technology. This unit gets strapped down to your motorcycle, and then you get a little key fob tag. And I actually left this on my Toyota key, so you can see by comparison, it's roughly half the size, maybe 3/4 of the size of my Toyota key fob. But this is the key fob that comes with it. You can get extra key fobs as well, and then you can use the app for iOS or Android to be able to pair the key fob to the anti-tracking device. And the way this works is as soon as your key fob leaves the range of the motorcycle, the anti-theft tracking device is activated. So you are living in New York City, and you put your keys in your pocket, you park your bike in the garage, and you head off to your home in a skyline apartment overlooking Park Avenue. We're just creating a lovely scenario here for how you're living your life. You get up, you sit down, you pour yourself a nice cocktail for the night, and all of a sudden you get a phone call. So what's really cool about the app is that they don't want to distract you with other notifications, because all of us are getting notifications from TikToks and Instagrams and Facebooks and banking alerts and other things. So it actually calls you if it senses that someone is moving your motorcycle. You get a phone call, you get a voice that says, hey, check your app, pull your app up right now and take a peek at it. So you pull the app up, and every 5 minutes you will get updates onto where your motorcycle is. So you can either go John McClane on somebody's ass and try and track them down and beat the hell out of them and take your bike back. Or what I would do is I would simply call the police, and I would say, hey, someone is stealing my motorcycle. I have a tracking device on it. Here's the location. Let's go get it. So there's two different settings. This will update via GPS, and you can actually track it on your app. Every 5 minutes, it'll give you a new update. You can change that to update every 1 minute. The problem is that's going to really severely limit your battery life on this. So both of these will have batteries in it. The key fob has a little kind of a watch-esque battery in there, but then really what you're getting in the backside of this is going to be 2 AA batteries, and there are notifications in the app as to the battery life. So if you're noticing that the batteries are getting low, while it would have been kind of cool to see something that was rechargeable, what's nice about this is you can just pull this off the bike and throw new batteries in without having to wait for a charge time, thus leaving your bike susceptible to theft. So the one thing to note here is that this is going to come with 2 reusable zip ties. So the nice thing about reusable zip ties is that you can take them on and off, and that's going to allow you to change the battery. So you can kind of affix this to a hidden point on your motorcycle. When the batteries are low, you push the little tab down in the zip ties. If you've never used reusable zip ties before, it's an amazing piece of technology that doesn't have you cutting the zip tie. You simply ratchet it down, and then there's a little tab here, and you pull that, and it allows you to pull the zip tie out. So you can use it multiple times to keep this affixed to your motorcycle. And again, the only reason you'd really take this off is to swap those batteries out when you see that it's getting low. The device is super simple to use. It's easy to set up. It's easy to download the app. For the price on this is going to be around $200, and then you do get the first 2 months of service free. After that, it's about $49 a year to have anti-theft technology in your motorcycle. I just got back from a cross-country trip with Sally the Rally on the back of my pickup truck as we went out to Adventure Fest, and I rode about almost 2,000 miles out there, and then I drove it back. So I will say that this is a more sophisticated setup than wrapping chains around the bike and alarms on the back of the bike. Now that will do more of a deterrent but having a tracking system on your motorcycle allows you to find it if something were to go awry. And this is a pretty popular device, especially for people living in urban areas where motorcycle theft is a bit more of a reality. So this really will help you recover the motorcycle. I think for a lot of us out there, we're probably doing both, right? We're probably wrapping our bikes up with chains and disc lock alarms. But then should those fail, which they do, you can have a way to track your device, or you have a way to track your motorcycle and get it back. And that's why these have become so popular, because they are easy to use and they're relatively affordable when you're looking at $49 a year. So especially a lot of insurance companies out there, fun note, will ask you if you have some kind of an anti-theft deterrent on your vehicle, and you can sometimes get a reduction in insurance price as well. So just keep that in mind. And this doesn't just for motorcycles. You can use this on a car or any vehicle that you want to track. So just a fun little safety device here. And again, the biggest note with this new one is the smaller size. It's just a bit easier to conceal on your particular motorcycle, but all the technology is the same. The one thing that hasn't been updated, it is just IP65, which means it's splash proof. So it's not something that you want to have in an area on the bike that can be torrentially rained upon. So you want to make sure that it's in an area where if it does get some splashes of water on it, it's going to be okay. But you don't want to just have it I don't know, underneath the rear tire where it's just constantly getting blasted with road debris. That would not be a smart area to affix this to your bike. But all things considered, this is an extremely popular device with motorcyclists out there. There's a bunch of us here that are already using these to make sure that nobody takes our loved motorcycle away from us. And the nice thing about this too is that you can transfer it from bike to bike pretty easily with those removable zip ties. So it's not something that you have to plug in or wire into your motorcycle in any way. So if you're taking different trips with different bikes, you can pop it from unit to unit. Or if you want to make sure that all of your bikes are being tracked, you can get multiple units and multiple key fobs, and you can track all of those through the app as well. So pretty slick unit from Monimoto. And again, this is the updated M7 version of this. If you have more questions, make sure you check out the product detail page to read other rider reviews from folks that are already using this to keep their motorcycles safe. And if you're still not sure if this is the right theft deterrent device for your particular bike, you can always reach out to our customer service team and they can walk you through all the different alarms and theft trackers available to make sure that you find the right anti-theft deterrent for your motorcycle, your riding style, and your lifestyle. I want to thank you for joining us today for this look at the Monimoto M7 GPS anti-theft tracking device. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.